there are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Gamertag Radio presents E3 2016 coverage. Hosts Danny Pena, Paris Lilly, and Peter Toledo are direct from the Convention Center floor.
That daily interview, roundtable discussion, all the latest gaming coverage, developer interview, the latest news from the crew.
A Gamertag Radio exclusive.
E3 is one of the biggest events for Gamertag Radio, and you don't want to miss this. Here we go.
E3 2016 coverage starts now.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio. We're live at E3 2016, and I have the whole crew here. We have Pete Rock in the house, and also Paris.
Hello.
What's going on? First off, let's talk about Bethesda. I know you guys were there at the press conference. I wasn't there. I've been reading some tweets from the people that were watching the press conference during the live stream. So tell us, how was the press conference overall?
I think they put on a pretty good event, all things considered. I mean, a lot of it leaked out, but hey, Ms. Leo, I called it. They kicked off the show. Quake with Quake Champions. Yes. Quake Champions is what it's called.
Okay.
So it's coming back. It's going to be very esports focused, which is not a shock for that genre, and we're going to get a lot more of it at QuakeCon. So I'm very interested to see. 120 frames per second. They were talking. This is a PC only game. It's not coming to consoles.
No
things
consoles.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah. They talked more about the Elder Scrolls. The online.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online Legends.
The card game. Yeah, the card game.
Yeah, it's kind of I want to say it's Hearthstone competition.
Basically. Yeah, Gwent's going to destroy all of it.
I think the biggest focus that Bethesda had coming out was Dishonored 2. Like that was.
Yeah, that's their flagship.
I think that was like their. Is it really their flagship? Though?
Well, and look where it's launching, November 11th. They're putting it out right in that window of Titanfall 2 and Call of Duty and all the other big games that are coming out in the holiday. So yeah, this is their big game.
Wow. So, would you say that was their money shot?
Yeah, they spent the most time on it. They showed us gameplay. They went through various scenarios that you're going to encounter in the game. So yeah, this is a big, and to be honest with you, I know we kind of skipped ahead and we're talking Dishonored 2. I liken it to a more refined BioShock Infinite. That was the kind of the vibe and the feel that I got from it. They've obviously learned a lot from the original Dishonored, and they've iterated on it, and I mean, to me it looked great. It's something I would definitely want to play day one.
I like the fact that you can actually play as either Corvo or as his daughter Emily, and they're like fully voiced out regardless of who you care, which it's not like the same character voice or whatever. It's not the same lines written for each character. They're actually distinct and independent. November 11th, I think, hitting. Yeah,
November 11th. Stores.
Limited collector's edition was announced as well. That Corvo mask is nasty.
Yeah,
I want it. I want that in my bedroom, just sitting there.
Now, here's a big question I have.
Okay.
They said if you pre-order, excuse me, for a limited time, you'll get the original Dishonored.
The definitive edition. Definitive edition, correct.
Now, do we get that early? Or do you have to wait until it comes out? Because my crooked mind was thinking, well, I could just pre-order the game and I'll get Dishonored and I'll just cancel my pre-order. It's got to be at launch. There's no way they're going to let you get it early. I can't see it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Speaking of free things, so there's a couple of things that were announced today. Doom. Capture the Flag modes and King of the Hill modes coming out. They have 3 free-for-all maps coming out free to the community. And I mean, if you want to take the success of the Doom franchise, the launch, just a few months ago, can Bethesda do no wrong at this time? Because everything they're dropping has just been
Elder Scrolls Online isn't necessarily the greatest success that they've had in recent times. I would say there's obviously they keep trying. That new DLC's coming out for it.
And this is all free. This hasn't even gotten to the premium DLC, which is going to be, I think it was Unto the Evil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, and then on top of that, they're giving people the opportunity to download it for free just this week. So, listeners, if you have a chance, regardless of the platform, if you want it on PlayStation or Xbox or Steam, go. You can. I think it's starting right now. You can go ahead and download it for free for a week and play. I think it was the first level.
Yeah.
Of the campaign. So it almost seems like Bethesda's whole thing was free. Because I know there was a whole bunch of other games that that they were talking about with free. What else was there? There was the big one, Skyrim Remastered. That's crazy. And if you have the Skyrim, the original version of Skyrim on the Xbox 360 or the PS3 with all of the stuff, I believe the word is you can get the remastered edition for free for the next gen consoles because they're trying to bring it over. You know, totally redoing all of the textures and graphics and particle effects, the snow effects, weather, everything has been redone and it looks gorgeous. So
I mean, overall for you guys, I know Paris, you went last year to their press conference. Compared to last year and this year, what was the thing they got right and the things they got wrong this year?
Well, one thing that we forgot to talk about, which they 100% got right, is they're rebooting Prey.
Yes.
And the direction that it looks like they're going with it is very interesting. I mean, it's going for this psychological kind of sci-fi thriller type of game. Like, you don't really know what's going on. It looks like time travel could be involved. I mean, it's all kind of crazy things. So definitely interested to see what we'll see from Prey in the future. Dishonored 2 is obviously something they got right. That looks like a AAA game. It felt like a AAA game. That's the perfect sequel to that franchise, and I think they'll definitely start getting a lot more people on board with it because the original one won a lot of Game of the Year awards back in 2012, and I don't see why this wouldn't be a contender as well. Things that they got wrong. I'm sorry, real quick. I mean, the Quake Champions, we didn't see any real gameplay from it, so it's suspect. And I know I saw some people were just kind of grumbling that they didn't like that. Yeah, they're focusing more towards an esport, so that could be a good or a bad thing depending on your point of view. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let's stick with the Quake conversation because I saw there was something really interesting. There's an interesting narrative, and I'm using that word because I really hate it, but I'm trying to use it anyways. So you've got all of these esports thing, and obviously Doom is their, I guess you can call it their esports title, right? Is Quake just Doom with a Quake skin at this point?
I mean, you could say I've not personally played the new Doom yet, so it's hard to say with that multiplayer if that, like you're saying, if that's what the case may be. I'm honestly not sure.
It feels it, and obviously I can't say it either because I haven't played Doom. Seeing everything that they dropped on the show though makes me a little more interested in maybe picking up the game. I'll definitely. Well, actually, by the time we get back from E3, I'm not gonna be able to download anything because that free period is gonna be over. But I'm definitely intrigued. My fear is that they're trying to capitalize, like you said, on the E3 or the esports excitement, and just trying to maybe flood the market.
But with Quake, it makes sense to me. In my personal opinion, that's the logical next step for Quake. Look at QuakeCon; it is a phenomenon. The original Quake is still played to this day. So if you're going to make a sequel, of course you're going to bring it into the competitive scene. Why wouldn't you? So I'm personally okay with it because I think that's just where it should go. I just wish we saw gameplay. That would be my only thing, which we will at QuakeCon because that was the promise that they had.
All right, so we've got two titles that we that we accurately predicted. Obviously, you with the Quake. We called out Prey. Fallout 3 Remastered Edition, as well as a Skyrim Remastered Edition. I think Skyrim was the big elephant in the room with the remaster title. Did any of you expect Fallout 3 coming out with a full HD remaster on the next gen?
Doesn't shock me. I wasn't necessarily expecting it at this briefing, but the fact that it exists doesn't shock me. I'm still of the opinion I kind of prefer Fallout 3 over Fallout 4. Just Fallout 4 just never truly grabbed me. But I know we don't need to get into that. That's for a podcast for another day. But yeah, I mean, I actually put the Skyrim remaster in one of my disappointments because I don't feel it's needed. All of the improvements that they showed for it, I know it's for console, but they've been around on PC for years at this point. So, okay, but it's geared towards console gamers.
I know you loved Fallout 3. Actually, we talked about this at the show that Fallout 4 didn't grasp you like Fallout 3 did. With the remaster coming out, is that something that you'll pick up and give it another spin, or do you think you've fatigued yourself on the franchise?
I don't see me playing it anytime soon. Well, honestly, let's go to the big elephant in the room that I guess we kind of forgot to talk about, is the fact that there's going to be Fallout 4 VR 2017, and I've made it, and it's going to be on the HTC Vive. That's something that could get me into VR if that experience is truly immersive, and Doom is coming to VR as well. Those are the type of things that I'm looking to see in VR. Maybe that changes my perspective on Fallout 4 as a whole because of the VR angle on it. I mean, we'll see. Well, but that's something for next year.
They also announced a bunch of updates coming out for Fallout 4. There's more content coming out. There's more traps or like swings. I forgot what they were calling it, but it's more like building blocks for the game. Fallout Shelter, the mobile game, is getting a major update as well, with a bunch of things going on.
And it's coming to PC. Which I like.
Which is a time killer. That's a corporate time killer.
Oh yeah.
Again, I have to ask the question: have they peaked?
In what regard?
Do you think? Can you foresee anything else coming down the pike for Bethesda now?
Wolfenstein. No, so to answer your question, no, they've not peaked because they still are sitting on some IPs that they did not talk about today. That I expected them to mention something Wolfenstein related, and they didn't. So the fact that they didn't, I expect that to be a showcase title for them next year. So no, they've definitely not peaked.
Danny, do you have any questions now, having heard what we've talked about?
No, I mean, so far it seems that you guys are in the middle with this press conference. Not the greatest, not the worst, but it's a decent press conference. I mean, with the announcements, the surprises, and everything. I was just curious about overall, like the reaction from the crowd that were there at the press conference.
There was definitely hardcore fans of the various Bethesda IPs, because I mean, when they made those type of announcements, like when they announced Skyrim, the crowd loved it. I mean, like I said, just for me personally, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but obviously it's a big deal to console gamers to be able to bring Skyrim forward, not to mention they're adding mod support and things like that. I mean, that is a big deal going on the next-gen consoles. I mean, for me, right now, the game that got my attention the most out of all the games that they showed at the press conference was just Dishonored 2. It looks pretty good. Yeah. Graphically, gameplay-wise, just everything seems right. So far, I just want to see like how it is playing the game. Here's the biggest thing I took away from this, and I guess we can wrap it up, is I've heard since last year people Bethesda, these E3 press conferences they're doing, they'll be one-offs. They won't keep doing them every year. I don't see a reason for Bethesda to stop. Bethesda is becoming one of the big publishers now. They have these IPs games that people want to play, and like I said, something like Wolfenstein they didn't even talk about at this press conference. We know the next version of Elder Scrolls is coming. They're probably going to start talking about that next year. They have IPs that people want to play. I mean, they even have a franchise that they could resurrect like Rage. Believe it or not. I mean, there's games out there that they can do. Obviously, they can keep iterating on Quake and things like that. So, you know, baby steps. I mean, I think this press conference was better than the one last year. I mean, sans the Fallout 4 announcement, everyone went crazy over it. I thought the production of this one, everything that they were trying to do was better. And I just, why would they stop? Keep it going.
Cool. All right, so we're going to continue coverage of E3 2016. We have a lot of content coming up, so stay tuned to gamertagradio.com or play.it/gamertag. And remember to send us feedback, right, Paris? We love feedback from the listeners.
Absolutely.
So send us your feedback to fanmail@gamertagradio.com or give us a call, 786-273-7GTR, or go to speakpipe.com/gamertagradio. So until next time, here only on Gamertag Radio.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.